We're excited about today, immensely excited, and it's worth celebrating and noting this milestone. We all recognize there's still more work to do, but I'm confident that with the same persistence, the same focus, that we can continue to meet many of the timelines, if not all the timelines, a little bit of luck and hard work in bringing rail to the South Coast. And with that, I want to turn it over to Rich Davey to say a few remarks. Rich, thanks, go.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I will be brief, and thanks to the Lieutenant Governor. And I just want to make a mention of Lieutenant Governor Murray. I mean, you talk about someone in the administration who has really been, I would say, the Tom Brady of this, really quarterbacking this transaction. I mean, he has taken a personal interest, and when I talked about taking the job several months ago with the administration, this was the one issue that he really brought to the fore. We need to improve service to the Worcester area, and we need to bring service to Fall River Bedford. So I'm excited to be here. This hopefully will not be my first trip, but a trip of many as Fall River Bedford becomes part of the MBTA's service area. We couldn't be more happy on this day to continue to move forward. So again, it's a historic day for the MBTA. We couldn't be happier to be here. Appreciate all of the cooperation we've received, as the Lieutenant Governor said, not only from the delegation but from the mayors here on the South Coast to move this forward. And with that said, I'd like to introduce the mayor. Thank you.
This is a major milestone, if not the most significant milestone in the development of South Coast Rail, bringing rail from the Boston area to southeastern Massachusetts. And while other administrations have paid lip service to South Coast Rail, the Patrick and Murray administration has done more than that. They rolled up their sleeves, they brought together the best and the brightest, and they came up with a true game plan to extend rail to southeastern Massachusetts. And by purchasing the rails and making this announcement here today, it's hopeful and uplifting to see that this project is going forward and that the Patrick Murray administration has made a major commitment to southeastern Massachusetts. And as stated earlier by the Lieutenant Governor, this extension of South Coast Rail is going to create jobs. And in a Commonwealth and in a region where jobs are one of the most important issues facing us, this commitment to southeastern Massachusetts, this purchase of the rails, bringing this project forward off of the drawing board and making it a reality is going to help get people back to work. And I would be amiss if I didn't talk about not only the transportation aspect of it. For those of us who live in southeastern Massachusetts who have to take 24 north into 93 to get into the Boston area, and those of you who have sat in traffic for 2 or 3 hours know how important South Coast Rail is to this area. From a commuter standpoint, from an environmental standpoint, to get people to use public transportation shows the commitment that this administration has made to technology, to transportation, and to the environment. So I want to thank you for all those aspects, Lieutenant Governor. You and the Governor have been down here more in the last 6 months than previous governors have been in their entire terms here to southeastern Massachusetts. And to the federal delegation, the state and local delegation that's in attendance here today, we're all partners in government. We're all doing what we need to do to make sure this project continues to go forward to benefit the people of this region and to improve the quality of life of the people of this region. So I want to go on record here today as the mayor of this great city to say thank you for all the work you're doing here for its people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And before we ask legislators, I just want to single out, this doesn't happen alone. It's a team of people, and certainly, as I mentioned, Senator Kerry and Congressman Governor Frank were instrumental in helping us effectuate a deal with CSX, and the teams went to work then to do the legal work and the closing and the deed conveyance and all of that type of work. But I mentioned Rich Davey and wanting him to become much more familiar as we implement the vision here today over the next several years. But a lot of people have continued to work hard to bring us to this day. And I've said it many times, many places, I think we have one of the most talented people in all of state government who the governor and I put in charge of this project. Christina Egan, who's here, I want to acknowledge Christina for her work putting together the South Coast Corridor Economic Development and Land Use Plan. Jamie Tesler, who negotiated with the corporate entity and legal eagles from CSX. Jamie is here as well. And then Jody Ray, who is the operational guru from the MBTA, and members of his team, if they could just raise their hand to be acknowledged. They are going to be frequent visitors